Greetings, love and light. It's me, Michael Roberts from Michael Styles. I know that some of you may have saw a video that I posted about Albert from across the road from the salon, that his home, shall we say, got like burnt or, from a fire that was inside a shop below called the Wellbeing Centre on Willesden High Road. And I know some of you might not know the full details about what happened from what we saw. So basically on Friday afternoon, around about lunchtime-ish, we saw some smoke coming up from a store. I was just like, oh my gosh, there's smoke coming up from there. Is there a fire? But because we didn't see no flames, we only saw smoke. So, me and the staff, was like, oh my gosh, what's going on over there? And then we saw people, coming out. And next door is a cafe, so people was coming out from there. And, there's a bit of panic and stuff like that. But what happened is that the local community stuck to knock on the door for the flats above, because there's a mature man called Albert that lives upstairs, and a lady and another man that lives upstairs. So there's 3 apartments above the shop and stuff like that. So two community police officers were there. And while people wanted to go in, even one of my stylists, Jamie, wanted to go into the house to see if the deaf man was all right, and stuff like that. Anyway, the police wouldn't let them go in. The police sent them to get back and stuff like that. Right. What hasn't been mentioned or even talked about is that oh my gosh, I don't know if is he from. I think it's from Syria. Oh gosh, I hope I could get the country right. He went round the back with a ladder. And he went on top of the, he climbed on top of one part of the roof, and then he went to another part of the roof. Okay, and you know what he done? He broke the sunlight. He got into the houses above, and he saw the man that lived on the 3rd floor unconscious on the floor. All right, he risked his life to go and save this man's life. So he got him out. He done CPR on him and so forth. And all the time he was up on the roof, we're saying to the police officers and then the fire brigade people, look, there's a guy on the roof there. All he kept saying was, mask. We need oxygen, we need mask. And that's what the guy was saying on the roof. Yeah, that's another story. Yeah. So we was just like, look, this guy's saying to you, he needs mask, and stuff like that. So anyway now, bit after that now, as I said, we didn't see Albert, so we're thinking like, okay, maybe Albert wasn't there, or so we don't know. And so anyway, later on in the evening, the fire's been putting out after hours and and stuff like that. And then we're just wondering like, oh my gosh, I wonder if Albert's all right. We're sorry for the loss of the Ankh Centre. By God's grace, it'll get repaired and fixed and come back and stuff like that. Moving on to Saturday. So Saturday, I've opened up the store, come in, and while I was doing my second client or so forth, I saw Albert. So I said, oh, look, there's Albert. Albert's all right, because he was crossing the road. And then little while, I just saw him just hanging about outside the flat, even though it's got ribbon and tape there. He was just hanging out there. So I said to myself, what's Albert doing there? So I spoke to a fire brigade man, and he came and said like, they didn't want to leave him there because of course he can't go into the flats, but he's tried to get hold of Brent. They tried to get hold of the landlord. Anybody that's in his phone, that was there, they were also signing, but they couldn't make out what they were saying to him on the signing and stuff like that. So that wasn't working. So, but let me tell you, the fire brigade man, even the fire brigade services, thank you so much. Thank you. So the fire brigade man was, we was conveying with him. Let me tell you how God is so good. So in my chair at that time, I was doing a client that also signs. So I was explaining to her that, look, there's a guy across the road. We need someone that can interpret him, to sign. So what she done is she gave me this app on the phone to bring to the fire brigade man so he can translate. I hope that's the right word to him. To make up a conversation, to find his name and all his details and stuff like that. So they managed to get his date of birth and they managed to get his first name. The fire brigade man said that they had been there for, I think maybe, I don't know if it's 5 or 7 hours, but anyway, it was over their shift and they were waiting for a relief fire engine to come. So anyway, so they left with another fire engine services had come and stuff like that. Now, my thing is, so what you was thinking that happened with the first fire brigade, that he maybe got halfway through the council and stuff like that, or social services or something like that. Do you know what happened? Because of the new fire brigade man that came, the whole thing had to start all over again. So anyway, cut long story short, I was like, something? I spoke to a friend of mine called Lorna, and Lorna, she's away at the moment, but she got in contact with some people in London and so forth. I had even a couple of people, some translators from America, that said they heard about what happened, that, I was looking for a translator to help converse with Albert. Right, so I got hold of somebody, so that started to move, started to work, and then I put a shout out, and then I even tried to get in contact with Dawn Butler. Enough people I tried to get in contact with, and it's just like, what is going on? Where's the services for deaf and people that can't speak? Where's the services for them? Isn't it not like a greetings, love and light on this Super Saturday? It's me, Michael Roberts, from Michael Styles, 186 Willesden High Road. I'm just doing an update on the incident that happened outside the salon, or across the road from the salon, in a shop called The Ankh, where there was a fire in the shop, and the flats above got infected by the fire. But what it is that I done a previous post about a man called Albert, and the reason I done the post for Albert is because he's deaf, and he wasn't being heard, and I don't even felt he was being seen. And what happened was it came to our attention today when we was in the salon today, and the fire services came back to the place of where the fire was and saw Albert standing outside the door of his flat, which is above the shop, the premises that had the fire. And what's upsetting is that nobody from the council or no organization or so came to look after him or assist him. And it was quite hurtful because we at Michael Styles, I feel we are a pillar in the community, and that could have been anybody's dad, granddad, uncle, and stuff like that. Okay, he's deaf, but that shouldn't be an issue. And I felt that they should have made sure, even if it's the landlord or so forth, or should have made sure that everybody was looked after this major incident that happened on the high road. So one of my colleagues said to me that, Mike, why don't make a TikTok about it and see if we can get some advice, some help on how to look after, how to try and get Albert some assistance, i.e. somewhere to stay for the night or even for the next couple of days. So one of my colleagues, a couple of my clients, we made up a quick TikTok, and we're just asking for help around the world. I'm telling you, a lady from Lorna in USA was recommending people in England that do sign, that they can maybe get through to us, that we can maybe do a video call with Albert and stuff like that. But the update is that Albert was then taken to hospital today, on the Saturday, to Charing Cross Hospital. Councillor Chowdhury from North Willesden High Road has been behind this all. So basically, a counsellor came down to the salon. We told him what's happening with Albert, that they took him to the hospital, and the counsellor has got in contact with the landlord of the shop, of the building, and they have now taken Albert from hospital now, and they now have put him into a hotel in Wembley. So he will be there for a couple of days. So that's what's happening at the moment. But we want to thank the fire services. We want to thank the customers. We want to thank the staff at Michael Styles for all your help and your support. Thank you to the customers that were giving us advice and stuff like that, and people that's been bringing down things for Albert already. The donations there. All the bits and pieces that they've been bringing down for Albert. Thank you all so much. At the moment, as I said, once I hear any more news about Albert, I then will update you a little bit more. Love is love. It's me, Michael Styles.